Terrell. Welcome to Shades, your voice in color, full of pride. I'm here with the Trap Muva herself, the Indianapolis legend, the greatest, Chef Oya.
Hello.
Thank you, thank you, thank
That was
you.
a great
for,
introduction.
I know, well, someone so amazing deserves an amazing introduction.
Thank you so much.
Of course. So thank you for taking the time to interview with us today. We have a few questions that we want to ask you. The people have been wanting to know.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start with, some people may or may not know that you identify as a person of the LGBTQ community. I saw you post something on Pride. You said, you SAF, proud, loud, who you are. So how do you identify, and can you tell us a little bit about your coming out story?
I identify as, when people ask me how you identify, it's really strange because normally I would just say bisexual because, I do date men and women, but on the other hand, the spectrum of people that I might date is not necessarily on the binary scale. So, queer, but even that really doesn't necessarily encompass who I am, but I'm just here.
So would you say
I'm here.
Would you say you date the person, or you're not necessarily concerned about the
Yeah, so there's a term called pansexual that a lot of people are using, and I think it's just kind of one of those buzzwords, but I probably think that would most accurately describe who I am, or how I identify, just because I meet a person.
Mm-hmm. Pansexual.
And I like a person.
Right.
Yeah, I think pansexual people just, regardless of how the other person identifies, they are able to, like, their attraction doesn't rely on a specific gender.
Okay, that's a great way to put it. So you're attracted to the person, not necessarily the gender.
Correct.
Okay, so tell us about your coming out story. We know coming out is different for a lot of people, and coming out is a process. You sometimes come out more than once. So what was your initial coming out process was like, and how did people respond to you?
My initial coming out was when I was about 15, and when I say coming out, it's just, I guess, means coming out to my family. My friends had kind of known, but coming out to my family, my mother found a letter in my room that I had written to one of my crushes, and it was a girl, and she flipped out and was wondering what the hell's going on with her daughter, and there was that. So after that, after my mother knew, and after my father knew, and after my grandmother knew, it was kind of like, I don't care who else knows now at this point. So then I started wearing my rainbows.
So how
letting everybody else know.
How did your family respond to that initially?
My father said that he knew.
Okay.
My mother was very distraught for a moment. My grandmother was like, oh, okay, you're still my grandbaby. I had a couple family members kind of still don't mess with me. But overall, everybody was really, after about a couple of months, my mother kind of came around and just recognized that I was her daughter and that I was still the same child that she had raised, and that there really wasn't anything different about the way that I operated. And I had been operating like that. I mean, I think the first crush I had on a girl was when I was like 12, so I was still the same person. She didn't know who I was crushing on, but that's what it was. You know what I mean?
So 12 years old. So how old were you when you identified within yourself? Because I know for me personally, I first started having feelings for a male probably around 13, 14. But even then, I didn't really understand what it was. So how old were you when you maybe put a name on it or claimed it yourself?
It was about when I was 12.
Wow.
Around 12, 13. Just when I don't know, I remember having a crush on an older gal, and she, identified as a stud, and I just remember being like, hey, I ain't never seen nothing that beautiful in my life. I remember feeling that way and not really understanding, like, what is this? But because I grew up on the internet, it was really easy for that to be okay, because there were so many, websites and Black Planet, and
what was
so
your
many other
website?
websites, and Downlink, and just so many websites that you can kind of find community in and be okay with yourself. So, you know, grateful for that situation. But yeah, I was about 12 when I first kind of realized it.
So yeah, Black Planet was definitely my page as well.
It was crazy.
I had a separate Black Planet page.
I had 2 or 3 myself.
Where I was a little more free on some other pages. And I had a similar story to you, but unfortunately for me, I wasn't honest. Like when my mom found like my Black Planet page and, you know, some gay stuff on our computer, I think I lied. I blamed it on one of my friends because like he was out. So like I said, oh, he was in our house, he was in our computer looking at stuff. So like definitely that's something that's hard, that's something that's difficult. So like I commend you for at such an early age, like living in your truth. Because for me, it wasn't until I went to college that I found the freedom to be able to live in my truth. So definitely.
Well, you found it.
Yes, we found it. So it comes in the right time.
For
Absolutely.
sure.
Okay, so switch gears because we know that your identity is more than just your sexuality or how you identify. So let's talk about how you're known throughout the community. So you are known as the Trap Mother, the greatest of all time, the greatest to ever do it. So tell me, when did you first have the idea to start the trap?
I remember I remember looking on Facebook and someone, and I know exactly who it is, but I won't say his name, but someone posted a picture of a Florida-style seafood tray. And I remember saying to myself, that looks delicious. We don't have anything like that here and that. That's for sure something I could do. So I called my business bestie, who is Candace Boyd Wiley, and she is the one that makes our seasoning that we use, the Young Bay signature seasoning at the Trap. And I said, listen, I want to sell crab legs. And she was like, okay. I was like, but I need you to make a seasoning because I don't want to use Old Bay. It's got too much salt. I don't want to use Old Bay. So can you make, because she is what she calls herself, the spice slanger. So she is a genius, a culinary genius, and she makes custom spice blends. And so I was like, I need for you to do this. And so I was already in the process after I, saw that tray. And then I have several other friends that live in Florida, and they would always post their trays too. And I'd just be like, I just want that. But we don't have anything like that here in Indianapolis. So I called Candace, had her start working on that. I started to formulate the garlic butter that what is now known as Trap butter. It wasn't known as Trap butter then. Started to formulate the garlic butter. She came over one day when she got the seasoning ready. I made some shrimp. I put the garlic butter on it. I put her seasoning on it, and we tasted it, and we looked at each other, and we were like, "Girl, we're gonna make some money."
So you knew at that first
I
taste
knew at that moment that we was in it to win it. I knew at that moment.
So what do you think helps your food connect to so many people? Because I go to the Trap, and I tell everybody about the Trap.
Thank you.
And I've stood in line. The longest time I ever stood in line was maybe like an hour and a half.
Really?
Yeah, I stood in it was a Saturday I came, and I came at the heart, but it was worth it for me. And I always tell people, the beautiful thing about coming to the Trap is you meet so many great people. So I never walk away, I've got business cards for people, make business connections at the Trap, so the hour, however long the wait period is, it doesn't matter to me. But why do you think it resonates with so many people that they're willing to stand in line? Not always an hour and a half, but why do you think connects with people so much?
Food, period, regardless of where you are in the world, is a connector of people.
Absolutely.
So there's that. And then when you have something different and you have something locally made and you have something that someone has put their all behind, and I put my all behind this brand and behind the Trap name, and I'm very vocal about it, and I'm very open about what I need and what I want and what my dreams are, and I think people just really kind of resonate with me, and then the food is good. So
people love you, plus the food is good.
The
so
food
it's a
is
recipe
good.
for support.
I think that is the recipe for support. That's what it is. I mean, anybody can be talented. Anybody can make good food. Anybody can relate to people. But when you have that, all of that together, I think is what is really has been the key to, you know, my success in this city.
Okay, so speaking of support, I often hear that in Indianapolis in particular, there's a certain type of culture. And what I hear is that it's really difficult to get support locally. I felt it and I've experienced it sometimes. So I guess my question to you is, how does it make you feel when you look outside? Because you know, you work at the Trap too.
I work there.
So how does it make you feel when you look outside, and maybe you don't get to look out that often because you're too busy working, and you see lines of people, and you see the support on social media, and you see the rankings that you're top ranked in the state, that you're top ranked in the country for seafood restaurants. How does it make you feel when you get that support locally, but also that it's grown like nationally?
The first word that comes to my mind when I think about that, about the amount of support that I get, is just utter gratitude. I don't think there's a word to better sum up how that makes me feel. I know that I work hard. I know that I've got a great vision. I know that I've got an amazing team. And I know that I have an amazing village of family and friends and supporters and even strangers that kind of rally around anything that I do. And that's just, I get teary-eyed. Sometimes, like, still, even today, I'm just like, why, how are, this is amazing. But I just say gratitude. I'm always in constant gratitude, regardless of how I'm feeling, regardless of how I'm walking. I just make sure that I remain grateful.
Absolutely, because you've been featured in the Indie Star, you've been featured on Food Network. You definitely have received the recognition and the praise from the community. So definitely, I think gratitude is a great way to take it. Okay, so I'm going to switch gears and ask you a personal question aside from the business, okay? So, you recently posted, I'll say, some very steamy boudoir photos. Can you just talk about body positivity real quick and why you think it's important to represent that?
I have been a big girl my whole entire life, and my size, and my parents made sure to kind of instill this in me. My size has never been one of those determining factors in anything that I do. Other than maybe riding a roller coaster, but I can do with that because it makes my stomach feel funny anyway. So, I just really believe that if you are born with a body, as all of us are, regardless of what it looks like, how it works, what equipment you got or don't have, regardless of any of those things, we should absolutely accept ourselves first and foremost in whatever body that we're in. If we feel like we want to change it for some reason, we have the ability and the power to do that. But first of all, it's very important for us to accept our bodies as they are, first and foremost, and then to love ourselves as we are, as we stand, regardless of what we look or regardless of what, or the way we look or regardless of what size we are. And I just really like myself. Like, I just really think that I'm the bomb. So I'm not going to shy away from wearing what I want to wear or taking pictures the way that I want to take them or doing something. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Okay, my last question is, any advice you would give to someone who wants to step out and follow their dream?
It's, I mean, not to sound like a Nike commercial, but you just really have to do it. I mean, you really have to do the internal work. If you don't already have the self-confidence and you don't already have the belief in yourself built up, you have to do the internal work to find that, because it's not going to come from nowhere else. So you have to dig deep, and you have to do it, and you have to research what it is that you want to do, and you have to study, and you have to plan, and you just put yourself out there. You just do it. You just have to do it.
You just got to take the step. Okay. Where can we get a taste of the Trap?
The Trap is located at 3355 North Keystone Avenue. That is on the southeast corner of 34th Street and Keystone Avenue. You can follow us on Instagram at The Trap Seafood. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Chef Oya's The Trap. You can go to our website at www.chefoya.com. I think that is about it. Call us at 317-762-6172.
All right. The Trap Mother herself. Thank you, Chef Oya.
Thank you for having me, Terrell. I appreciate you.